All right. So I think you can see my screen.
Yeah, I'm able to see the Figma.
Okay. So let me just get this here. So we're going to learn card components. So let's start FNF service and let's go back to our system design. So yeah. So we created a button, but let's create a so FNF services is what, right? It's a bike servicing service. So we might need a
Right.
picture of a bike or maybe bike engine, right? So that would be better to showcase. So I'll just download it from let's say let me see here if I can download it from here. So let me take a very small frame actually. Okay, and let's call it card. It can be little bigger till here, and let's take a picture of a bike. Unsplash. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I took a frame, okay, and I'm inserting the picture in the background of the frame. In not like it is not like an element of in. So how can I explain? So this you see active is an element of button. Okay, so I'll you will understand in a minute. So bike. Let's say search for a bike, motorbike. Mhm. Which one you like? Let's take the nicer one. This one is nice. We'll create a big card. Okay. So you see this card frame. Okay. Card frame. So this bike image is part of this card frame. Not part, like it's a background of the card frame. How can you see that? The fill you see image is inside the fill. Image is acting like a color for that specific auto layout. Okay, I converted this into auto layout. Now inside this auto layout I can place content. Let me put in one more color. So if you see this fill, I'll add one more color to it, a little bit of black, and I will use some percentage, so it will like a create little bit darker pattern, so I can my text can be highlighted more. Okay, so you see image is below but the color is on top of it. Black solid color is on top of it but with opacity. So this is where you can add opacity percentage of the color. You can hide the color or you can delete the color, and you can also delete the image. When you go inside the color, when you click here, you have option to change the entire color system. Okay, whether you can do line gradient options which you do in HTML also, whether you can make this a video or an image. Okay, but right now we'll just use a color. You can do hexacode color, or you can bring it from your library, or you can apply some blend mode. Blend mode, right? You can color can create a pattern with a specific different color or a different image or a different text. So blend mode has like dark, multiply, and all those, which you can study with yourself later on, that what will look better. So if I do multiply, it will be same, but if I do, let's say, exclusion, it will brighten the bike more. So it is how the color would react with an image, or image would react with an image. Okay, but I would not do anything else. I would just let it be a normal pattern. So I have not applied any what you call any color pattern to it. I can also create a variable from this. That is your next chapter. Okay. So let's just create a card component and let's put our let's say title. Oh, bike, Yamaha bike servicing. Let's play it around a little bit so it looks nicer. Yamaha bike servicing. And now let's go to just 1 second. Okay, now I'm good to go. So shall we start?
Yes.
Okay. So now understand auto layout in a little bit deeper space. Like we understood the conceptual space, but a little bit of technical space we need to understand about auto layout. So you see in auto layout you have 9 positions, and in 9 positions your element inside a auto layout can be placed according to 9 positions. It can go left, right, bottom, bottom center, or anywhere. Okay, and these three things are how you want to align the elements within your auto layout content. Whether you let's say you have two element, and right now it is aligned horizontally, you can align it to where is it, you have to select the main frame, and then you can align it to vertical. You can wrap it. Wrap means basically, you know that, right? If you have n number of text, and if you wrap it, automatically the other text will come down, come below. It will automatically create an interspace. It will place the content within that specific width or that specific pattern. Okay, now you have dimension, which is width and height. So I'll explain you that in a better way. So let's say this is your whole content, a whole main frame of, and we have given a padding of 10 10. Let's give it 20 20 20. Okay. So this, what you call this card, you can either want it to, the width you want it to be completely touch based from both corners of its parent frame. So you will do fill, and it will automatically touch base with parent frame, which already has a padding from both sides. Or you will do hug content, which is it will align according to its own width within its own element. So you can change it, and let's say you do it, hug it again, and it will shape. So let's say if I make it this, it will change the space. It will act from the padding and also number of element it has inside, and what is the spacing you have given between each element. So let's say if I give 30, it will work. Oh, it's height also you need to give hug. Okay, do you understand a bit, or like do you have any confusion?
No, no, I'm good.
You're good. Okay. So that now, but for card, let's do fill, because that we can change later. And also here height we cannot do fill. Height we might have to have a little bit of fixed position because we need the card to look a little better. So instead of 88, let's do 200. 200 looks like a good size of a card. Let's add some corner so you can increase or decrease the opacity of a specific element. Let's add some corner from here. Let's add, let's say 30. 30 is too much. Let's add 15. Okay. So when you have a card, what all sort of element you might have within that card? You would have a title, like what this card is about. Then you will have a description. Description would be smaller than your main text. So let's say main text is it's showing 16, but let's make it 25. And also let's give it a little bit more padding from left and right, and 15. So now it can look a little better. And let's say we want to call it, we don't want it bold, we want a regular text for description, and let's make it a little smaller. And now, so inside cart you have text content, right? Text elements. So what you want to do is similar elements which have to stick together, you'll convert them to another auto layout. So these two, I'll convert them to another auto layout with shift A, and I would name text content, because they are similar. Okay, so instead of 30, let's reduce the space between each element to uh, I like to go by multiplication of 7, so let's go 14. It looks a little better, but let's see. Okay, here I need to write something nice. Get your bike servicing, yes, on the go from uh, F and F services. So now you see this text is going outside, right? It's
Yes.
not stopping here. So there too, the text also l- needs to have this text content also needs to have this fill. Also, this text, why is this going outside? You need to also put it like that. It has to be within the container. So fill. Now it came inside. Now it will not go outside of this container. It will stay in the container. Okay. Now, can you guess what one more element you would want to see inside a card?
Like any
Hmm?
logo.
Nah, no, not
Logo.
logo, man. Logo, we are already building. Logo would be on the top of the main frame, right?
Okay.
Guess, guess, guess.
Title, the description. Suppose
Description you
that.
have.
Correct. Uh,
So you have a visualization, which is image. You have then content people can read. Now what is missing? Action
okay.
is missing. Action is missing, because in an application, what is most important is that people see, read, and then take an action. So here, card would have the action of view, or let's say book this specific service, right? So let's say you have already created button, right? So I can just go and go to asset, and let's say take the button. Oh, oh, here, and let's, okay. So I want to change the button. Okay, this looks really uh, ugly. I have created it. You have not created it. So let's change the color a little bit. Let's make it white with FFF. Let's add a little bit of stroke to it outside, but the stroke should have, let's say, gray color. Okay, so it can look little nicer. Okay, okay, so this is how it looks. Let's see what else we have in our mind. So we are inside card. I have dragged down the button which we created as a component. And now what we need to do is we need to see. So you see the button is actually taking the space from top, right?
Correct.
What I want the button to be on the bottom and the text to be on top. So what I'll do, the card, I will do auto. The space between elements should be auto. So what will auto do is it will create this empty space between your top content and bottom content. So say in a card you have two different kind of objects, which is one is text content and one is a button component. Okay, let's change this to book now, and let's change the icon to something else. We might need to create different too many button styles. Okay,
Mhm.
but I'm just trying to explain you card today, so let's concentrate there. Arrow. This arrow doesn't look good. Okay, this arrow. Okay, let's do one thing. I feel like we need to create different button styles. So this is, let's call it navigation button, navigational button for navs, and let's duplicate it and create button generic. And generic, I want to give them an option to uh, left and right. So this I will delete. Generic might not have a hover or active property. It will just be a normal button. So where is state? State, let's delete it. Okay, state we might need. So we will just duplicate it. Oh, auto layout. Button also should have an auto layout. Let's give it auto, so it automatically adjusts. Okay. So now in this button type, what I want is I have all the properties, but I want to create a property wherein I can have the element on the left side or I can have the element on the right side. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Sometimes you disappear. I'm like, I'm teaching myself.
No, no, no.
So we have this stage now. Okay. So you have option to change button text is good, default instance is good, show icon is good, active instance, yeah, that we don't need. And let's change the states definition. So this is not default. This is what, instead of states, let's call it direction. No, we can call it left icon. Oh, sorry. Let's just call it direction now. That would be better. So this is right and this is left. Now we have two button types. So this button, let's change it to our other button type. So this is button nav, but I don't want button nav here. I want button generic. And in button generic, I want the icon to go right. So you see, I did not create another complete design, right? I just used the
Mhm.
old design to create a new system for myself.
Mhm.
That's the beautiful benefit of system design, and also your mind and my mind. I feel like I should not talk too much about how intelligent we both are. Okay, so let's do now. Now we want to convert this into a system design. Okay, what we'll do is, this is our main title. Let's change it to a system. Let's first convert it into a system design. Okay, so we can do it by right click, create a component, and it will be converted. Now let's create a property for this text the same way we did it for buttons.
Buttons.
Yeah, let's call it add title. Okay. Add details. And button is already a system design, so we might not need to change that. Okay. So your card is ready now. Let's use our card in the design. I don't like this button, but that's okay. We'll have to work slowly. I don't like the whole navigation I have made, but that's okay. So we are on home page now. Uh, Home page, any UI page can have multiple things. Okay. So now what you
Okay.
need is you already have a mainframe, and then you have header. Now you need a body. Body header will have a navigation, okay, and a bottom navigation will have a navigation. But in between that, you need a container. Like also in HTML, you have a body container, right? So you need
Correct.
that body container. So let's create a body container, take a frame and drag it and make it a auto layout, and let's call it body. And what we'll do is we'll fill it from left, we'll fill it from right, fill it, fill it. So it will automatically take the whole space. I want the body to take the whole space, but maintain the space from header, maintain the space from bottom. Okay. We'll also create a bottom later, but we'll check that out later. Now inside body, I want to bring in my card component. Okay. So your home has too much space. Let's reduce little bit of space left and right. Let's say 20, 20. Okay. And you need to adjust the card a little bit. The width you can then again do fill container. So it will automatically adjust according to your body. Now you have a card, and now let's say you created this card, and you want another card, but it is for not for Yamaha, but it is for a different company or different bike. Okay. So there are, what are
Okay.
the things you will change? You will change the text title, and you will change the image.
Title.
Okay.
Mm.
So let's change the image. See, still Figma has not figured out how to create background as a component, background as an instance. So they're still working
Mm.
on it. But if you click here, or let's say if you just go to Unsplash, and I think that they don't need to have another system design for this, because it does not require maybe.
Okay.
Okay. So I can just select the container, bike,
Mm.
and just change it. Just click on the image and it will automatically change. This image will automatically change. So I did not, I don't think it needs another system design automation, something like that. System design is something like, which which
Mm.
is very hard to like replicate all the time. Like you don't have to repeat a lot. So let's say this, what bike is this?
It's, I guess, KTM something.
If
Looks like, or make it look like.
Hayabusa it is, right?
Uh,
Okay, let's say you call it KTM, I'll call it KTM. KTM bike. Buy buy a KTM. Buy a brand new KTM. We have a brand new KTM for you. See? Now what we have is we have two different cards, and we did not have we did not need to design two different cards, and the design start to look little nicer. That's what we want. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do a little bit more. Let's. I think this should be enough for you to take as a task. But let's do a little bit of like you created your what you call button, but that doesn't look good. I created a button that doesn't look good. So let's move on to the next stage, wherein we we make sure that we have a better navigation system. Okay. So
Okay.
I'll create a better navigation system. Instead of header, I'll let the header be, but I'll also create a bottom navigation, bottom nav. Okay. And I'll bring this below body. And let's create another, what you call this, for bottom nav. And I don't like it. It looks really bad. Okay. Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's go to our UI first and see how it looks. Then we can see. Okay. So bottom nav, let's first fill in a color in the navigation itself. White is nice. And now let's have only three navigations here. We have too many navigations. Let's see. We'll delete this and we'll delete this. Now we have home, and I don't like how it looks. So let's change it to. Let's make this. So what we'll do, whatever is active, that only will show text. Whatever is not active will not show text. Okay, that is what we'll do. So default will not show the text, so we'll delete it. And active will show text, but we will change little bit in terms of color so it looks nicer. So let's say we'll make it not bold, we'll make it regular, and we'll decrease the size of font. We'll also decrease the size. What is the size of this? This is 16. We'll also make this 16. Oh, what's happening? 16. Okay. And I don't like this too much, so let's have it. Fill is FFF, and let add a stroke which is yellow or orange. Let's try it out. This is 14. Okay. And yeah, this will have, okay, it looks nicer only. I don't see a lot of problem. No problem. Okay, let's go back to our UI. Let's select these three items and change them to bottom nav, and let's use this as let's call them as auto. So they readjust. Still I feel like the text of home is too much.
Mm.
We can make it a smaller, and we can also play around. Bottom navigation does not need to have such a bigger text, but let's try to do this. We can make it vertical, because some of them have vertical things, right? Some bottom navigations. Okay, we need to add a little bit of padding. Let's add a little bit of top padding. and reduce the text a little bit. Again, let's make it 10. Text does not need to be that visible because you already have home visible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still somehow I don't like it, and feels like this is taking a lot of space.
Yeah.
Let's do one more thing. Then what we can do is we not all the application needs to have text, so we can do text hide, or we have that, right? We can hide the text
Okay.
in the bottom navigation. Sure. No, you have not created that. I have not created that. Sorry, I'm saying you have not created that. I didn't teach you how to create
Okay, we did for icon, I guess.
icon only. Let's create hide text. Show text. Some people might need text, some people might not need text, so that depends. Let's see if we can reduce a little bit of spacing in the auto layout. So it is 5, let's go 0. And let's also, so you know what, if it can become like a circle, I'm thinking then it might look nicer. So let's say it's 61 and it's 48. What if we do 48 and 48? So it's like a circle now.
Yeah.
And instead of, let's see first how it looks in the UI. Oh, what is this? Nice. It doesn't need to be filled. It needs to be
Because
hug.
uh,
Okay, because it's taking the space from top. And we can
yeah.
also try one more thing. Let's do padding. Okay, not padding. I need the spacing. Go 30 and let's make it center, and let's make it center.
And now it's like cool.
Now it's looking better.
Yeah.
Also, like, see, design is more about discovery, right? You have to keep discovering yourself how you can make it beautified.
Correct.
Let's try this as, what if we can make this as like, complete color, and rest of them can just stay as normal in the bottom navigation. So let's try orange as a whole color, and let's see how it looks. I like this better than this.
Great.
I'll remove this. So for header, we'll use something else later on.
Yeah.
Okay. But I like this better than what we had before.
Uh,
Let's give this a little bit of a mobile frame kind of effect, so it looks also better. Yeah. Now it looks like a beautiful design,
yeah.
right? So yeah, see, something like this you have to create. I hope it's not gonna be that tough. Okay.
Yeah.